W420radionetwork.com.
Well, today we get to know an OG, one OG to another OG. Say hello to DJ Igor Beatz from Bay Life Radio, bringing people together through music and a cannabis connoisseur. In fact, so much so, what do you got going on now, brother?
Oh, man, I'm just chilling, smoking breakfast, man. How you doing?
Is that a blunt? Is that your morning wake up and
yes,
waking back?
sir. Yes, you know how most people, they get ham and eggs or, butter and toast. I get a hemp wrap and hemp, and let's do it.
Okay. Well, you are really into the music scene in Oakland, California, and the surrounding Bay Area. Tell me a little bit. You go back a long way doing this.
Yeah, I do. I started out DJing house parties and just started networking with the locals. And years later, I got a handful of artists that I deal with. And here in Oakland, we do open mic shows. We call it the Tiny Stage Concert. And yes, we just network with all the musicians around the Bay Area and put on our own shows.
That's sweet. And how many people gather, and what are your venues like? What's the scene like?
Well, pre-COVID, it was looking good. Pre-COVID, it was looking good. You had anywhere to 50 to 100 MCs and singers, all networked with their family and guests. So it made for a good little venue.
Yeah, and then COVID came, but now we today is the day masks off and California reopens. We're having this conversation on June 15th, 2021. So this is a big day, and maybe I think we'll start flowing and growing again.
Right. For us, it's almost 2 years later. We just opening up, and honestly, a lot of people out here, they still a little leery. They don't really know what to believe. A lot of the spaces that are for MCs and entertainers have not quite opened back up yet. A few have. Everybody kind of playing it slow.
Sure, I get it. Now, you played music with Money B from Digital Underground back in the day. So the rap that goes deep in your soul, no?
Yeah, wow, you brought me back. I used to watch Money B. Me and Money B are high school mates, and I used to go to Berkeley High. And at Berkeley High at lunchtime, we used to have a supper at this little place at Berkeley High called the Bricks. And Money B was one of the contending rappers that always had it was like, oh man, it's Money B's turn today. Everybody broke running to come see. And it was these two favorite rappers. It was him, Money B, and another guy named King Roski. And they would go back and forth, lunch after lunch. And that's how I got a chance to get familiar with Mon.
Now, what role did cannabis play in the rap scene for you and your friends at the time?
Oh, wow. I gotta, if you don't mind, I'd like to take it back a little even further than that. When I was a kid, I was diagnosed as being hyperactive, and my mom used to take me to this doctor over in San Francisco, California in the Presidio. And after, dealing with that doctor, he had prescribed me Ritalin. So for a while, they had me on Ritalin. It calmed me down, but the side effects had me feeling like I was a rock. I wouldn't move all day. And one summer, I guess I was about 10 years old. One summer, my cousin, he was like, if you hit this, you'll feel better. And I'm telling you, when I hit the marijuana, I felt totally better. I instantly stopped taking my medicine. For a while, my mom thought I was still on my medicine because I was still getting the same effect, but I wasn't getting the side effects.
Nice.
So now, fast forward all the way up to the music, because here was the thing. My cousin, he used to do what was called strutting, and that's a form of breakdancing. And I used to try it. And he said, well, if you hit this, you'll get better. That was a con. But at the same time, my imagination took off and I did get better.
Well, it taps into that side of our brain, mind, and spirit that just lights us up, literally and figuratively. Now, I'm not saying we should all, at the age of 10, be hitting the weed, but I don't know if that's the advice. But Ritalin has proven to be more problematic. So it's, again, the plants over pills is the mantra that we share with a lot of our conversations.
I like that. I like that. You should make that a t-shirt. Plants over pills.
Jeff Danzer, the 420 chef, Jeff, the 420 chef, actually has a plants, not pills t-shirt already. And he's awesome. He's the guy who comes up with these cooking with cannabis things. Now, you do it. You sample different strains of weed on your Instagram posts. So what do you take, a gram and go on gram? What's up?
That's a good one. Well, pretty much every morning it's a different breakfast. In fact, this morning our breakfast is roasted platinum OG.
All right, what's that all about?
Oh man, it's a mellow, it's a heavy mellow. It slow you down just enough to get you to start thinking.
Well, that's a good way to put it. It sounds contradictory, but I feel you there. So now
right.
It looks like you're partial to the blunts. Is that the way you roll? Literally?
Well, actually, I roll in hemp wrap. I really don't prefer tobacco. I feel like tobacco is getting in the way of the marijuana. So I roll in hemp wraps. And they look like blunts. Yeah, they look like blunts, but it's a natural hemp wrap skin and made from real hemp, no tobacco. So it's almost like cannabis holding your cannabis.
I like it. It's true. I mean, it is not almost like it is because hemp is in the family. But I'm really glad to hear that you're doing that because there's a lot of toxic chemicals in the cigar leaf that is used for a lot of people. Smoke blunts, they don't realize the cannabis may be clean, but the wrapper isn't, and that could be very dangerous.
Exactly, and very addicting too, because I tend to see people like when they start out smoking, they'll smoke because they got it. Then after a while, you see them rolling smaller, but they still got the same size tobacco. I'm like, you like the tobacco,
which is not a cool thing. Now, I understand you got a cool new product you're going to bust out. By the way, we're talking to DJ Igor Beatz from Bay Life Radio here on America's Cannabis Conversation. And what is Mud Water? This hand-brewed, cannabis-infused herbal tea you're busting out?
Yes, it's wonderful, man. It's wonderful. Some say it's heavy, some say it's light. I'm looking for somebody to help me gauge it, basically. The Mud Water is hand brewed cannabis tea. I started out making a little coffee pot just for myself. Everybody said, you should make that a tea. You should make that a tea. And finally, a year later, we just started bottling it.
So how do you create? Do you steep it? What do you do to create this? And what do you use?
If I tell you that, I have to kill you.
Yeah, I know. Proprietary secrets. Okay, all good. But so what do you like? Do you like sativa? How strong is it? Can you gauge it? What do you do?
I tell you what, me, myself, personally, I could drink a couple of them and keep going. A friend of mine told me she likes to drink them when she goes to bed because it makes for a nice, smooth sleep. It's not. I don't think it's as strong as smoking a joint, personally. But I have a high tolerance.
Yeah, well, if you're a regular enjoyer of the herb, that would be the case. But different strokes for different folks. So somebody might want it to wind down after work or go to bed, or maybe you not wake and bake, but wake and drink, I guess would be. You could do that. If
right.
So
and you could actually Because usually in the morning, what I do is I pour one in a cup and put it in the microwave and put a teaspoon of honey in it, and there you go.
There you go. That's how you roll. Now, can you talk a little bit more about, we know about the barbershop being sort of the epicenter of the urban community where things happen and people share stories and, make connections. But you got something called the coffee shop, which is a little different, but you got to fill us in to the COUGHYSHOPPE. What the heck is a coffee shop?
Oh, well, that's a friend of mine's business, the coffee shop, and basically when you go there, guaranteed you're gonna feel the atmosphere, and it's a nice place to network. You get your burn on and meet a few new people. There's a lot of great people such as yourself that come by.
All right, very cool. So you call Oakland home, but you're a San Francisco native. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was telling my friend, because he said, you always claim Oakland, but you was born at Children's Hospital in Frisco. And I like to put it like I was born in San Francisco. I was kind of learned the life and seasoned in Vallejo, California. I went to school in Berkeley, and then I was put to the test in Oakland.
There you go. Hopefully you passed. Talk to me a little bit about Bay Life Radio. You've been doing this for over 20 years. What's that all about?
Oh, man, Bay Life Radio is a company. We and my friend Brian Thomas did, we hooked together. He has a graphic company, and I had a music company at the time. So I was going to him to get all my charges done, and he was coming to me to put all his artists in my show. We linked our companies together, Bottom of the Basement and What You Need Graphics, and made Bay Life Radio. And we just started networking and just putting together small what-to-dos to more or less like a artist survival kit. How do you get around? Because see, like when we started back in the days, I don't want to age myself. Well, it doesn't matter because in a week I'll be 52. But about 20 years ago, what we did was we just started putting together like what to do packages, how to get shows, how to advertise yourself. And what we used to do in Oakland is we used to hit all of the hair salons and barbershops with our flyers and with our CDs and let them know we're going to have a show. And then we would rent out a hall and give a show.
Cool. So now that things are reopening, hopefully it, jumpstart the music scene again, the live music scene. We all miss the connection. Yes. I've been waiting for this. I got butterflies in my stomach. My first return show is July 11th in San Francisco, California. I get to perform at the DNA Lounge. And it's sort of like a cannabis event because being in which everybody there is going to be smoking. Well, when you feel it and you let it flow, that's how you roll. That's how you go. And it's great catching up with you, DJ Igor Beatz. You're a happening dude, Bay Life Radio here on the W420 Radio Network. If you want to check out more or hear it again, see it again, W420radionetwork.com archive. We'll link your contact info there. DJ, great catching up with you, Igor. An early happy birthday, 52. You never look so young, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I thank you for your time. Awesome. And wake and bake, and it's all good in the hood. I'm Rich Walkoff. Yep. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back.
W420radionetwork.com